Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how-to style, and now natural hair care. So if you are into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So today's video, I believe this is Hair Talk 6 or 7. Y'all really seem to like these. So today we are going to go over 8 stereotypes about women who have natural hair or who have afros. They wear it in their natural state, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so a couple of things before we get started. If this is your first time coming upon one of my hair talk videos, welcome. I typically like to keep these very casual because they're typically anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes. So at whatever time you are watching this video, get comfortable, get into the video, grab some wine, grab some tea. The second thing is that I am wearing the sleeper pajama party set. So it has the feathers on the top and it has the feathers on the bottom of the pants. I didn't get it because these PJs are $320. They do have ones where they just have the feathers on the pants. I didn't get it, but now that I have actually bought the set and I'm lounging around the house, I get it, okay? So I will link this black one down below and then I will link some other colors down below, okay? So the very first, I guess, a stereotype of being natural, and I kind of think this is more associated with having an afro, especially back then when we start talking about the Black Panthers and we start talking about Angela Davis, that all women who are natural are militant. So first, I want to give you the Webster or the definition of militant so people can really understand when they are associating someone being militant with natural hair. I want them to understand what they're actually saying. So the definition of militant is combative and aggressive in support of a political or social cause, and typically favoring extreme, violent, or confrontational methods. There is nothing violent about me, okay? First of all, I don't know how to fight. Second of all, I am too skinny and too small to be fighting people who are twice my size, okay? Militant, there is nothing militant or violent about me. Yes, I stand for Black people. Yes, I think, when it comes to start talking about civil rights and all of that and talking about Black people and their rights, that is not a conversation that I have every single day. So I don't speak on it. I don't want to be like standing on a soapbox. I don't speak on it every single day. Do I support it? Yes, but I don't want to say the wrong thing because that is not my area of expertise, okay? So I am not militant. I am not violent. And even when you start talking about a Black person and whatever type of cause that they stand for, I am not sitting in my dining room with my husband when he comes home trying to figure out, what white establishment we're getting ready to blow up to make a statement, okay? Most women who are natural, especially in 2022, they're natural because they like their natural hair. They're natural because they want to be. They're natural because they find it interesting and beautiful. It has nothing to do with being violent and on the extreme spectrum of things when it comes to Black people and civil rights, and justice, okay? All right, number 2, I don't shower or I don't wash my hair. So when you start talking about natural, first of all, I shower. Before I started this video, I showered and I got dressed, okay? Now, washing my hair, that is correct. I do not wash my hair every single day. There are a few reasons for that. Number 1, if I were to wash my hair every single day, I would never leave the bathroom or the house, okay? I just don't have that kind of time. It takes me all day, not only to wash my hair, but it takes all day for me to install my mini twist. I don't have that kind of time or patience. I love doing my hair, but not every single day. The second reason a lot of people might not know or understand is that when it comes to natural hair and really Black hair in general, you don't wash your hair every single day because it will dry it out. All of the sulfates and all of the chemicals and things in your shampoo strip your hair of natural oils, okay? So like I said, I showered before this video. I wash my hair every 2 weeks. There are some naturals who wash their hair every week. Again, I can't wash my hair every week. I don't have that kind of time, okay? All right, number 3. I secretly hate capital, all white people. I don't. I don't. And like I've had the example, or like I've given the example in previous videos, when David comes home from work, we don't sit at our dining room table or our kitchen room table or sit in our movie room or sit in our bed and have like this sheet of paper or on the computer trying to figure out how to stick it to the man and trying to figure out, what can I do to piss off my white neighbors? I mean, I don't have a problem with white people. I truly don't. Hate is a very strong word. And to say that I hate all white people, you start getting into politics, you start getting into, different things that, to be honest, in everyday life for me, I don't even think about. My neighbor right here is white. My neighbor right here is white. My neighbor right here is white. And as a matter of fact, when we moved in, they complimented me on my dress. So I really have no problem with them. I would say that there are 65 to 70 houses in our neighborhood. And I want to say we are the third Black family to move in here. There has been no burned cross. There has been no N-word in my mailbox. I mean, it's just because my hair is natural does not mean that I hate all white people. It just doesn't make any sense. Are we still recording? Because I just got a phone call. Hold on. Okay, we're still recording. Number 4, I do poetry. I used to love creative writing when I was little. But when I started getting into high school and we were doing all these sonnets and iambic pentameter and Shakespeare and what's that other man, the Raven, Edgar Allan Poe. First of all, I didn't understand anything that they were talking about, nor did I care to learn. That was always a Cliff Note situation for me. But I don't like poetry, to be honest. Maybe I have not read or listened to the right poetry, but I don't write poetry. As a matter of fact, I think I would be pretty bad at it. I don't go to poetry slams. I don't go to poetry jams. I don't like poetry. To make an assumption that every single person who is natural likes poetry, that's just silly, okay? Number 5, I always want to have an in-depth conversation about politics, Black music, and the man. And you just heard me say two stereotypes ago. David and I do not sit at our dining room table and try to figure out how to piss off white people. If that was like going through my day, if I had to pick the top 10 things that I was worried about, pissing off a white person just because is nowhere near my top 10, nowhere near my top 50, nowhere near my top 100. I don't go through life trying to figure out how to stick it to the man. Black music. When you start talking about Black music, I myself, the only time that I really listen to rap is when I'm in the gym, okay? When I feel like, I'm in my head and I'm trying to, I feel like a gangster. I feel like, I'm getting ready to shoot somebody, shank somebody. I'm getting ready to make a drug deal. I'm aggressive because I need to be aggressive when I'm in the gym. But in regular life, I listen to R&B, old R&B, and I grew up on Bob Marley. If you don't know, I am Jamaican. So when I grew up, my mother was always listening to Bob Marley. That's how I grew up. So when someone is trying to have a conversation with me about Black music, I know what they want. I know what they want to talk about is rap. I am so far removed from rap. First of all, I don't understand what they're talking about. And when you start talking about, raping your mama, shooting your kids, blowing up your house, I can't get with that. So just because my hair is natural does not mean that I want to have an in-depth conversation about Black music and the state of the Black community, okay? The next one, politics. I have never been into politics. I actually find it quite boring, but I do kind of feel like I need to get into it a little bit. But just because my hair is natural does not mean that I want to talk about or have an in-depth conversation about politics. Because truth be told, if they're not on the news like Candace Owens, Donald Trump, Colin Powell, I think her name is Amanda Ocasio. If they're, Biden, Kamala, whatever her name is. If they're not on the news, if they're not forefront and center, I couldn't tell you who they are. I have no idea who my district or county, I have no idea who my county representative is. I am just not into politics, okay? Now, we can have a conversation about shoes, bags, hair, and fashion. I love that, but I don't really like politics. Number 6, and I think this is more associated with or in conjunction with, because I am Jamaican, the assumption is that I smoke weed. I don't. I've never tried it. I don't intend to try it. I do have some cousins, yes, they are male, who do smoke weed, but just because I'm natural does not mean that I partake, okay? I don't. Number 7, I don't conform to social norms. And that is so far from the truth. I work, I have a family, I collect a check, I do laundry, I clean the house when we don't have the cleaning ladies to come in. I would say I cook, but I Uber. My mother-in-law is here, and I'm very thankful for her because she makes the world's most delicious meals. I pick my son up from school. We watch TV. I live in a house. I live in a neighborhood. I go get my mail. We go out to eat. We go on vacation. It's pretty normal. I mean, I've never been involved in a riot. I've never been involved in a protest. Just because I'm not outside with a sign does not mean that I'm not protesting in other ways. You need some people to protest. You need some people to write a check. And then you need some people who come out with with brainstorming and ideas. I'm trying to think about all of the other social norm things. Pre-corona, I went into an office to work. I have a mother and a father. I've never been to gym. I mean, it's just so many things that I do that I guess would be considered social norms. Like I said a couple of examples ago, I don't sit in my house and think about ways to stick it to the man or how I can prove to white people that I just don't like them. Because like I said before, of my list of top 10 things that I need to, get done for the day, one of them is not to piss off a white person. It's just not. My husband is Muslim. He listens to the word. It's very, my life is very normal. I shop, I read, I listen to music, I take a shower. I mean, it's very normal. We live a very normal life. All right. Number 8. And I think that this has been an assumption for quite some time. I understand where it comes from, but at the same time, I just think that where we are in society, we don't need a black woman hating on or disliking another black woman. So the next stereotype is that because I'm natural, I think that women who choose to wear weave or who choose to relax their hair as a natural, I think that they hate themselves. That's simply not the case. If you have watched any of my hair videos, one of the things that I always press upon, or one of the things that I always say, is that I have no issue with any woman who is natural, whether it was her choice or whether it was a choice that was made for her when she was younger, like me. That's not my issue. If that is what makes you feel beautiful, if that is how you can best care for your hair, if that is how you want to wear your hair, by all means, then please do that. My issue lies when someone is being forced, it has been done against their own will, or if there is someone pressuring them or giving them the thought and notion that in order to be beautiful, in order to conform to that social norm, or in order to fit in order to get a job, in order to be successful, that you have to have relaxed hair. That is where my problem lies. That is where my problem will always lie. I have friends who are relaxed. I have cousins who are relaxed. I have friends who are natural. And I have friends who, wear weave. I have no issues with any of that. And like I said before, I understand where it comes from, but I just think that in 2022, we have so many other issues that we could talk about and solve that we do not need to hate someone or dislike someone or look down on someone because they have chosen to relax their hair. We all know and understand where it came from. When we start talking about civil rights, when we start talking about slavery, at that point in time, it was necessary. It was necessary for you to get a job. But now it's not. I mean, you have so many different avenues. You have so many different ways of going about being successful. And I will link it down below. But I did also do a hair talk about, natural hair in the workplace. Depending on where you work, it might be an issue. I give all of that in the experiences of my experiences in that video. I will link it down below. But just because I'm natural and just because, a woman who approaches me who's relaxed doesn't mean that I'm instantly going to dislike her and that I'm going to make an assumption that she hates herself. Silly. Very silly. Okay, now the next two are kind of true. So the next one, but I think this one is really all women at some point in time. But I think that people assume that because naturals are natural on their head, that they are au natural everywhere else. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the legs, I'm talking about the underarms, and I'm talking about the purse. I'm talking about your vagina, okay? One of my good girlfriends and I, we named that area a purse, okay? So that's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about a purse. So this is true and it's not. Underarms for me, those have to be shaved. That's just not, it's not cute, it's not attractive, okay? The purse, it depends, all right? It just depends. Now the legs, okay? Let's get a little personal for a second. I'm a very hairy person, okay? I can shave my legs in the morning and by nighttime, I swear it has grown back, okay? If it hasn't grown back, then there is stubble. So for me, once we start getting into the cooler months, I'm not trifling with it, but it's not as frequent. But I'm saying this stereotype because people assume that because you're natural, that you have natural hair, that 100% of the time, all the time, there is no razor, there is no shaver, there is no nair anywhere in your house. And that's just not true. I'm natural on my head, but on my body, that's a different story, okay? We still have to keep it cute. We still have to keep it trimmed, I'll leave that one there because I think that's kind of true for all women, especially depending on your living situation and where you live and what type of temperatures, like what type of seasons you have or where you live. But like I said, the assumption when your hair is natural is that you're just completely against shaving everything. And again, I guess that kind of goes into social norms. So that one is true and it's not, okay? The next one is absolutely true, which is things get stuck in your hair. I don't know one natural who has either been washing their hair or looking in the mirror and they have not found like a piece of lint. As a matter of fact, one time when I was washing my hair, when I tell you that I had taken my twist out, I had washed my hair, I had detangled my hair, and then I was getting ready to put in my drying twist because I put my moisturizer in with big twist. When I started sectioning my hair, now mind you, I had already detangled my hair in the shower with conditioner. I'm in the back of my head and I found a bobby pin. I was like, so you mean to tell me that not only have I taken out my twist, shampooed my hair, conditioned my hair, detangled my hair, now I have stepped outside of the shower and I'm getting ready to install, we'll call the moisturizing twist. I'm getting ready to install my moisturizing dry twist, and I find a bobby pin. Really? Another thing, don't let someone who is natural be outside and the wind is blowing and like the pollen or a flower or maybe an insect or whatever. It might get stuck. I mean, if it's in close proximity to your hair, like if you have a puff or if you have a bun or if you have your hair out in a wash and go, it might get stuck. So that stereotype is true. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. It comes with the territory of having glorious curls. Okay, y'all, so that's it. Those are all of the stereotypes that I kind of wanted to discuss. Let me know in the comments any stereotypes that you think that I have missed or any stereotypes that someone has associated with you. Just leave it down in the comments. Like I've said before, I really appreciate you guys keeping the comments very, very, very respectful. We can disagree, but we don't have to be rude about it, okay? I just want to remind you that here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And then, of course, right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. Bye.